Starting at the front of your mat, feet together. Let's go palms together. And let's begin with a beginner variation of the Surya Namaskar. Release. Inhale, up and back. Breathing out, forward bend down. Left leg, not too far, knee touch. Downward facing dog, hips back. Cat pose, upward. Breathe out, hunch. Inhale, neutral. Out, down dog. Left foot all the way forward, right knee touch. Forward bend, folding over. Inhale, up and back. Straighten, let it go. Continue up, down, right leg, not too long. Downward facing dog. Cat pose up, down, neutral, down dog, right foot forward, forward bend, inhale, up and behind. Straighten, release. Variation 1, inhale up, exhale down, left all the way back, knee touch. Lift up the back knee first and then get into your plank. Down to the mat, it's knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into down dog. Left foot forward, right knee touch. Breathe in, look ahead. Forward bend, breathing out. Inhale, up and behind. Straighten, release. Just one more for the day. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right leg all the way back. Plank. To the ground, 8 pointed. Chest up, cobra. Hips back, downward dog. Right foot forward. Forward bend. Inhale up. Straighten and release. And that's it. Let's start. Lying down on the ground, face down. Okay, let's begin practice. Now, for these first few postures, I'll start with the left leg so that you can see what's happening. And all you're doing here, and it's a resting posture known as the playful fish, you're going to lift that left knee up towards the side. That's it. as high as you can comfortably manage. Don't force a thing, and then drop your head down again. That's it. Change. Take that left leg back, right knee out to the side, a little higher than usual, a little higher than hip level, as comfortably high as you can manage. And you can drop your head down again. As far as the head is concerned, you can either face the ground or turn your head to the right and just let go. It's a resting posture. Change. Right leg goes back down. Now, once more, left knee out to the side, but this time you'll keep it only at about hip level. And as far as the foot is concerned, it's not too close to you. So there's about 90-degree bend in the knee, about 90 degrees. And this should make you open up the hip a lot more than the previous one. So it's a little stronger on the hip as compared to the one we just did. Left knee out to the side, about hip level, around 90-degree bend in the knee. And once again, looking down at the ground or turning your head and looking at the left. Change. Left leg goes back. Right knee out to the side, around hip level. Okay, release. Right leg comes back and really slow exactly where you are. Turn around onto your back. Reclining bound angle posture, reclining butterfly. Soles of the feet touch, knees out to the side, and arms wherever you like. So if you want your arms a little active, take them over your head. If you want to relax the arms, then take them out to the side or somewhere there. And remember, we're not really actively pushing the thighs down. You're just relaxing your hips so that with time, as you breathe nice and slow, your hips open out further and your thighs go closer to the ground. We're not pushing, we're not trying too hard. Change. We're still doing a reclining butterfly, but slightly different. Get your arms down. Now, soles of the feet still touching, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Fingers interlocked, reach forward and grab the feet. Once you grab the feet, set your head and shoulders back down on the ground. And now, holding onto the feet, try and open your thighs apart a little more. So, a little bit of work now. So, it should appear as if you were sitting on a wall and still trying to do the butterfly, pushing your thighs apart actively so. You're not just relying on gravity this time. Okay, maintain that hold, breathe in. Now, on the breathe out, bend your elbows and take them above your shins. Point your toes towards your face, lift up your shoulders, lift up your head, and see if you can touch your toes to the nose or the forehead. Remember, toes have to point towards your face. If they're pointing up, it's never going to work. And down, release. Feet down, wait for a moment. And you might want to belt for this next one. Be going leg to the side. So, right leg up, use a belt if you need. Grab on. Left leg straight on the ground. Left arm out to the side. And starting really slow, right leg out to the right. Now, no need to go too deep, just go halfway. We're really taking our time with this. Try to keep your left butt cheek on the ground. So your left hip should not roll off. And if you can, a little deeper, only if you can. And if you are going deep, remember, left hip stays on the ground. Beautiful. Nice and slow. Return to center. Start. Right arm out to the side. Left leg up. Grab. Completely okay to use a belt. Right leg straight on the ground. And let's go left leg to the left. Starting easy. Going a little deeper if you can, closer to the ground, only if you can. And remember, right hip stays on the floor. Do not let that right butt roll off. Maybe deeper go. We still have a few more breaths. Taking that left foot closer down towards the ground, but as long as your right hip is down. And return. That's it. Come back up to the center. Weight over here with both knees bent. Now, what we do now is we'll try and take both legs out to the side while lying down. And if that means that you cannot straighten your legs, that's completely okay. All right. I would have said use a belt, but then in this case, if you're using a belt, you'll need two belts, one on each leg. So rather than that, just keep the knees bent and do whatever little you can. The main focus is to try and keep your back as flat on the ground as possible. Let's try this. Lying down, feet up. You can go two fingers grabbing the big toe, or you can grab the outer edge of the foot. And initially, you're just trying to get your back flat on the ground. So, no rolling off like this. Keep your hips down, keep your shoulders down, and if possible, straight legs. Only if possible. Let's stay here for a while. And if you have straight legs, there's actually three things that you can do. One is to spread the feet further apart or the legs further apart. Two is to pull the legs closer down towards the ground. And three is a combination of both of them. So pulling them apart and pulling them down towards the ground. Careful there. Remember, you want as much of the back on the ground as possible. And release nice and gently. Knees bent. Let go of the hands. Feet down. Coming up next, infinity posture. Anantasana. Lying down on your left side. Absolutely straight. Your head is either supported by your hand or maybe even by the upper arm, whatever you choose. But remember, you're trying to go one straight line. So do not stick your hips out towards the back. Anantasana, right knee up towards your shoulder, not in front of you, to the side. Grab the foot or the big toe or even the calf. If it's too strong, just go behind and grab the calf. But otherwise, go from inside, grab the foot or the toe. Now, straight leg. And for the first few seconds, you're just thinking about getting the balance right. You're really not trying to stretch too much. Make sure the center is active, and that's how you'll hold your balance. And if you're still happy with the balance, only then bit by bit by bit, maybe you'll increase the pull on that right leg. Maybe, maybe not. Release. Let's go the other way. Right side down on the ground. Supporting your head, absolutely straight line. Left knee up towards your shoulder. Grab foot or calf or big toe and left leg straight. Get the balance right. And if you're happy with the balance, only then go pull harder. And release. Beautifully done. Let it go. Bend your knees, drop to the side, and push yourself up. We're doing one seated posture, revolving head to knee. Right leg out in front of you, left knee out to the side. But it's a revolving head to knee. You don't want to be facing forward, so you need to change this position a little bit. Push the right heel further forward, push the left knee further back. And what happens is you're automatically facing the side. So you're not looking forward anymore. You've got your chest turning to the side. Right hand on the ground inside the shin. Left arm up beside your head. Breathe in and exhale. Let's just go a couple of inches forward. Wait there. Remember, we're traveling really slow today. A little more, maybe. And if you can go further, some of us will end up grabbing the foot. If you can't grab the foot, it's not too important. It's okay. But remember, chest facing the side. You're not turning your chest into the ground. Really reaching with that top arm. Release, nice and slow. Push bottom hand into the ground and help yourself up. Change. Left leg forward, right knee out to the side. First things first, you need to open that angle. So push the left leg further forward, push the right knee further back. Chest facing the side, left hand on the ground, inside the shin, right arm up beside your head. Breathe in and go sideways and down. Wait there. Top arm absolutely straight. Stay in control of your neck. A little deeper, if you like, of course. Maybe even more. Some of us will grab. And release. Nice and gentle. Push with the bottom hand. Come on back up. Get your hands down and relax for a moment. So we're done with the seated and the lying down part of the sequence. Now we get up into standing postures. And this is what we'll do. We'll do a down dog, three-legged with an open hip first. Okay, let's go. Hands and knees on the ground. Get up into a down dog. Open hip, left leg up. Go as high as you can, but we do have another attempt, so there's no need to try too hard right now. Remember, turn the hip open, point the foot, straight left leg up and down. Three-legged down dog, open hip, right leg up. Go slow. Don't move too fast. Turn the hip open and down. Now, knees down, sit for a moment. We're doing the same thing. We're doing exactly the same thing, but we're trying to go higher. And because you're trying to go higher, these 2 points might help. So, first things first, make sure your down dog is as short as possible. So, most of us, I'll just say cat pose distance, all right? Not longer than that. Cat pose distance. That'll help the leg go higher. That's one thing. Secondly, when you do lift up, okay, when you do lift up, maybe you'll get that right heel. You see that? Lift that heel off the ground as much as possible. And that will also help you to get a little more height and a little more raise on that opposite leg. So let's go for it. Start hands and knees in the ground. Cat pose distance only, not longer than that. Breathe in, breathe out, get into a down dog. Right leg down, left leg up, open hip. Go high, 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 higher. And let's go lift up that right heel. And definitely you can go a little higher than before. Open hip, that's the important thing. And down. Nice and slow. Straight right leg, foot pointed up, up, turning the hip open as high as you can manage, as high as you can go, and finally lifting that left heel off the ground. Really lift up, go higher. And down. That's it. Knees down. Wait for a moment. Okay, and here we've come to the main part of today's class. But again, we'll break it up into two bits. Now, the first part of this is really simple. It's just a half moon, Ardha Chandras. Okay, half moon. The thing is, we will not try and do anything with that top arm, and we'll try and take the raised leg a little higher than usual. Feel free to use your blocks. Okay, let's start. Come on up. Use your blocks if you like. Right leg forward, left leg back, as if you were doing a triangle, as if. Now the left hand on the hip, okay, or you can just keep it alongside over there. Right knee bent, reach for the ground or the block. Lift up the back leg. Now today we're not trying to go up with this left arm. You can just keep the left hand on your hip or even flat alongside. But now I'll say take that left leg just a tiny bit higher. Remember, chest facing the side. Just a tiny bit higher. And that's enough. Right knee bent, back foot touching the ground. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Left leg forward, right hand on hip there. Left knee bent, left hand down to the ground. Lift off. Chest facing the side. Right leg a little higher than usual. Normally I say about hip level, but now I'll say a little higher. Make sure that you're still turning your chest to the side. And today we're not going to bother with that right arm going up. Okay, that's it. Left knee bent, right leg comes down, and come on up. Okay, here it is. Now we're trying to do exactly that, but we go a little higher with the leg, a little lower with the body. Now it's really important that you move slow, because if you move fast, you'll probably curve in the rib cage or something like that. Your leg will stop moving. So if you feel like your leg isn't moving higher up anymore, that's fine. Stop where you are. Stop sort of trying to go deeper with the body when the leg is not moving. All right. Let me show you what I mean. Now, for most of us, I will advise, for almost everyone, I'll advise use a wall behind your back. Let me demonstrate first, and then we'll do this together. So here I am with the wall behind my back. And like I said, it's really advisable that you do this. It just gives you so much more security. Same as always. Right knee bent, left hand on hip, hand goes down to the ground, lift off the back leg. All right. Now, we just did this a minute ago, correct? But now you're going to try a little harder. And for this one, I'll say point the left foot. Don't flex, point. Now, here we go. I'm going to bend my right elbow. The body goes lower just a bit, and the left leg comes higher. Okay, wait there for a few seconds. And then maybe body goes a little lower, leg comes a little higher, and maybe a little more, maybe a little more. All right, that's how you do it. So, really advisable that you have the wall behind you. If you don't have a wall, you can still do it, but it's going to be, you'll have to be really careful. Now, here's why I don't want you to move too fast. So, let me demonstrate slightly wrong. There you go, you've started off and you went down a little bit. But now, from here, let's assume that my leg doesn't move. Now, if your leg doesn't move, that's fine. Don't try to go deeper with the body when the leg does not move. You see what I mean? So the idea is to feel like a seesaw. A comes up only when B goes down. You know what I mean? That's what you're trying to get into. Stop, be aware, stop at any stage you like. Let's do this. Preferably with a wall. If you'd like to be a little adventurous, then without a wall. Go. Right leg forward, left leg back. Left hand on your hip. Careful, guys. Right knee bent, hand on the ground or fingers on the ground. Lift up the back leg and you're in half moon. Remember, the left arm doesn't do anything today. Point the left foot, that'll help. Leg a little higher than hip, everything in one straight line. And maybe you can take the head down, the shoulders down a little bit more, and the legs slightly higher. Wait there. Let all the effect kick in. And maybe you can go even deeper, head and shoulders lower down, leg higher up. And maybe a little bit more. And that's enough. Right knee bent, back foot touches the ground. Inhale. Come on up. Fantastic stuff. Let's go the other way. Remember, if you're using a wall, the wall is behind your back, not in front of you. Right hand on hip, left knee slightly bent. Reach for the ground. Right leg up in the air, a little higher than hip level, and pointed foot, no longer flexed. Normally in half moon, we flex the foot, but today we're going way higher. So we'll point the foot. And let's go shoulders and head a little lower, right leg a little higher. Just a bit. Be very aware of what's going on. Maybe a little lower with the body, with the torso, and a little higher with the leg. And finally, maybe one more attempt. Head and shoulders lower down and right leg higher up. Beautiful. Left knee bent, right leg down on the ground. Inhale, come on up. And nice and slow, get your feet together. Lie down on your back. Arms out to the side, in line with your shoulders, not higher than that. Lift your feet off the ground. Keep your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Breathe in and exhale. Just drop to the right. Drop completely. Let it rest. Inhale back up to the center. 90-degree bend in the knees. Knees together, feet together. Exhale. Drop completely to the left. Resting. Inhale back up to the center. Feet down. Now we'll do exactly the same thing, but this time with a little effort. So we will not drop the knees or the feet to the ground. We'll hold them about halfway up in the air. Let's go knees bent, feet off, 90-degree bend. Breathe in and exhale. Maybe halfway, maybe two-thirds to the right. And if you want to do less than that, you're more than welcome, but there's no need to do any more. So let's just say halfway or two-thirds or something to the right. Keep your knees together, keep your feet together, and try not to use your neck. So you're not pushing the back of your head into the ground in hopes of holding yourself deeper and stronger. So your neck should be, well, not completely relaxed, but relatively relaxed. Inhale back up. Exhale to the left. Maybe half, maybe a little more than half. Remember the neck, don't overuse it. Inhale back up, feet down, and rest for a moment. Okay, arms out to the side again. Final reclining twist. Hips a little to the right, just a little bit. Now, straight legs on the ground, and it does feel a little tilted. Right leg up. If you like, you can bend the knee a little bit, but as far as possible, keep it straight. Breathe in and exhale. Drop that right leg over to the left, turning your hip as you do this, but not your chest and shoulders. Inhale back up, feet down. First things first, get your hips to the center. Then take your hips a little to the left. Straight legs on the ground. Left leg up. And drop that left leg over to the right. Inhale, return. That's it. Feet down. Get your hips to the center. They might be quite displaced. Get your hips to the center. Relax for a moment. And then cross your shins, hold the feet, roll up into a seated position. Okay. One seated twist. Just one. Left leg straight. And we're going into the half spine twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Right foot crossed over. Hold on to the shin and keep it a little active so you're not slouching. Yeah, so pull a little bit, and that pull helps you sit straight and tall. Now, as far as this right foot is concerned, see that it's not pointing outward. That right foot has to point forward. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, cross over. After you cross over, place your right hand behind you. And that's it. Now, instead of adding other stuff to this posture today, like an arm bar or taking the right arm around the back, all we'll try and do is turn even more. And the best way to do that is to walk with the fingers of the back hand and turn even more. Inhale back to center. Change, right leg straight. Left knee bent, foot crossed over. Sit tall. Breathing in, right arm up. Breathing out, cross. The minute you get that cross, now take the other hand back. Starting slightly easy. And now trying to get the shoulders to turn even more. Walk with the fingers of the back hand. Go. Push your right arm against the thigh. Both of those actions will make you turn even better. And come back to center. Release your legs. Lean back a little bit. Shake about. Fine. Now that's it. We got one twist left. And just like the previous sequence, it's a standing posture. Nothing too complicated. It's a revolving side angle posture, but today we'll try and flatten the back foot. Okay. Now, before we get there, let me show you the cheat that you might have to use. I'll do it this way. So there we go. You can set yourself up in position. Now, that's a good option, but just remember the traditional posture is one arm down and one arm forward. Okay. Now, you don't have to do that. Maybe you're just here. Anyway, so you're going to lift up that back knee and really slow. Drop that heel inward. Okay, inward. That's what you're trying to do. Now, obviously, that's a little difficult for us, for many of us. So, how do you cheat? How do you sort of teach yourself this thing without really falling over? Very simple. You shorten your lunge. And when you shorten the lunge, the hip is a little higher than the knee, and that makes it a lot safer. Let me demonstrate. So you're here, and that's a very short lunge I've got going on. I twist, and I've got that. You see that hip higher than knee. And the minute I do this, it's a lot easier for me to, oops, just turn the heel in. There we go. I have a lot more control. And of course, with a fair bit of practice, you can then come into a nice, long, normal lunge and still drop the heel down. So let's go. Final active posture for the day. After this, we're just resting, revolving side angle posture, Parivritta Parsvakonasana. Get into a down dog, shake about a bit, really taking advantage of all the twists that we've done before this. Right foot all the way forward, back knee touching the ground. Now, if you need to, I'll say it right now, shorten the distance slightly. That'll really help if you need to. Torso up, left arm up, exhale, cross. After you cross, push your palms into each other. Look at the side, do not look behind. Now, really slow, back leg straight. Wait here for a few moments. Now, with control, drop that left heel to the ground with control and keep turning. Release, hands down, downward facing dog. Left foot all the way forward, right knee touch. If you like, shorten the stance by getting the right knee a little forward. Body up. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, take your time with the cross. Go. Now push your palms into each other. Do not look behind. Right leg straight. Get used to this. And now right heel down. Go. Release. Hands down. Move back into your down dog. Shake about a little bit. And we're done. Lie down on your back. Knees bent, arms beside you, feet together. Try and get those feet as comfortably close to your hips as possible. We're first doing Kati Uttan, which means extending the waist, or basically it's a hip tilt, that's all. Breathe in, chest up, tilt the hip forward. But remember, your hips stay on the ground. We're not lifting them off. So just imagine you're doing a fish posture, but rather than using your head, you're using your shoulders. Release. And for a short time, exactly the opposite of that. So it's a posterior hip tilt. Without using the strength of your legs, tuck the tail in. Remember, you're not lifting the lower back off the ground, you're just tucking the tail in. So if it rises more than a couple of inches, you're probably doing it wrong. You're using your legs. Use only the lower belly. It's almost invisible. It's a posterior hip tilt. That's all it is. Release. Next, from here itself, feet a little away from the hips and slightly apart. Breathe in, open up your chest and shoulders. Breathe out, hips up. That's it. There's no need to go too high. Even if you just have a straight line from your knees to your shoulders, that's more than enough. There's no need to bridge with the hips too high. If you can comfortably, of course, go for it. But if you've got the straight line, that's also enough. Flat tummy, do not push your belly out. Down. And before we actually lie down and rest, get both your knees up to your chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Go for a full grab, rounded shoulders, hips rounding off the ground, forehead to the knees, hips off, shoulders off. Judy, relax the feet. Don't flex them. And down. Straight legs, feet falling apart, arms comfortable, eyes shut. Knees bent, nice and gentle. Drop to the side. Use your top hand, push into the ground, help yourself up, and come into a squat. Of course, if your knees don't like the squat, you don't have to do it. You can just go hands and knees on the ground. Breathe in, out, hands touch, slow, come on up. Feet together, palms touch, and a gentle bow.